Computer. Okay. I got my bell. I've got the bell from my regular show. Um, so hey everybody, this is Cold Brew Conversations. Um, and I haven't done one in a little while. In fact, I've only done about six of them. And this is a repeat guest, the first repeat guest ever. Um, and I'm so excited. I'm a big fan. And ladies and gentlemen, like she hosted the fucking Chicago Emmys last night, and that's pretty awesome. I got to find out what the Chicago Emmys are. But ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Toomey,
Hello, everybody. How are you?
and
Yeah, I
so
didn't know
happy.
there was a Chicago Emmys either until I was asked to host it, honestly. And they've been going this was the 67th one. And some of the past hosts were like Oprah and Roger Ebert. Bob Newhart was like a part of it. Betty White's been there. Like a lot of, big names in the past. So I was very honored to do it and very outside my wheelhouse, but it was fun.
Is it? That's not outside your wheelhouse, though. Really, I don't think so. Like you're like a beloved. I mean, as far as I can tell, you're like a beloved Chicago. You're all like, who did you say? Bob Newhart or something? You're like Bob Newhart, kind of, or like Bob Hope or whatever you said was at the. I mean, you're like a big. You're like such a. I think you're. I love the way you combine This is something I wanted to talk about today is like how you combine politics with also being funny, and how to do that right now. So we're just gonna figure that out. It's gonna be a 3 hour podcast.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's like real long. So we're gonna figure out everything.
Okay.
Kidding. We're not doing that. But I would like to ask you about how you balance those two things because I think you do it well.
Well, thank
Um,
you. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know that I'm doing it well because, you know, unfortunately, I mean, I'm gonna do what I have to say something at some point. We all feel the need to say something,
yeah,
You get to that point, you just have to fucking say it and whatever happens, happens.
yeah.
But it's not served me well numbers wise on social media. That's
Oh,
for
really?
every time I say something, I lose followers. And, there was um I mean, I would say thousands and thousands, but at this point, in one, when Trump got shot, I said it was a hoax. I called it fake news.
I
And,
remember, and I like that approach.
but, you know, how he would call things fake news.
Yes,
And I was kind of just highlighting oh, how insensitive that is. Anyway,
yes,
I lost
yes.
10,000 followers in 3 days. And then, like this ICE stuff that's happening in Chicago, when I post about it, I lost all the followers that I gained from my special. I mean, I worked hard on that special. We
Sure.
put it together. It was a big launch. It's on Apple TV if you want to watch it. It's called Shriller.
Oh yeah, go watch it. It's yeah,
And
go watch Thriller. That's the mo main point here, actually.
but what is this? The Tonight Show? Go fuck yourself. We're not selling. I don't get any money. I don't care if you watch it.
I
Um,
want you to watch it. I want everybody listening to watch it because it's good.
well, that's the thank you.
Yeah, watch it for fun.
For fun, right? It's
Yeah.
free now in November, it becomes free anyway. But anyways, the point is all the people that found me from that, I lost the same number is on my page, but I gained 1,000, so I must have lost 1,000 people with this ICE stuff. And so what I'm saying is, yes, I do think that, you need to say something when you got to say something and fuck it. But I don't think it's like you're saying I'm handling it well. I don't know that I'm
Hmm.
doing that correctly because I feel like if I was doing it better, I wouldn't be losing people. I would be people that were following me would be like, "Oh, I see your point." More like.
Right, but don't you think like you're probably losing the followers that don't know what you do anyway?
Exactly. Well, that's the main problem with my number count is
Yeah, your number is huge.
they all came. It's not huge compared to, I mean, who compared to who?
Well, compared to like Nicki Minaj, it's pretty big. I mean it's small, but that's you're not
Right?
doing that. We're doing we're
Yeah.
doing Earth level numbers. You
Yeah.
have like a pretty good you have a pretty good number of people, and that's all from
Pretty
content.
much. pretty much that one video that went viral. And the problem with that is, is that that video roped in quite a few people that I don't think we would that would like me otherwise, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I think they maybe a couple of people like messaged me, good luck going woke. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like I've always been just like this. So
I
like
just think that's such a funny thing to say anyway.
well it's yeah,
It's
it's
just
stupid.
so stupid.
It
What a
is
good
embarrassing,
luck
like an
going woke.
adult woman saying that to
Like
me.
it's a
But
job or something.
yeah.
Uh,
But anyway, I don't
yes.
you. It's nice. I'm glad you like.
Well, I think
Yeah.
because I'm like trying, I've been going off on politics. Like my my podcast used to be, I mean, my first the my email is bestofbread@gmail.com.
Yes, I
And
earlier.
and I used to play soft rock records on my radio show here in Nashville that I had in like 2000 for 4 years starting in 2005. And it was like a hugely popular radio show. And that was how I ended up podcasting way back when in 2009 because people were like, "Oh, you got to keep the show going." And I had like people trying to help, like start this podcast. And so we did this show called the Chris Crofton Show. And uh those shows were like about current events, but current events just weren't we did talk about politics always, but not to the extent like it was like you could talk about it felt like things were going somehow like maybe we would be able to fix it or something, which is insane. But
To be honest, talking about politics 20 years ago and talking about politics now are completely different. Politics now has the energy of like WWE meets the fanatical, football team fan, like fanatics. It's like become a sport in a lot of ways, but it's like a serious matter. But the energy is so intense. I mean, it wasn't like that in the early aughts. I feel
right.
like people maybe paid attention. We all hated George W. We thought he was a piece of shit that stole the election, all that stuff. But like at 9/11 and like the war and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
we talked about that. We
But it
talked
was
about
not the same. Like people weren't fucking shooting each other about it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
What's happening?
And the show was like I mean like it was a lot of like talk about soft rock and because I think soft rock is really like I really like it because I grew up listening to it. Like bread is like this comfort food for me musically, kind of like John Denver. Like it's just stuff that I remember from my childhood, the most stable part of my childhood. So I can kind of like go back to that like a little bit listening to that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but like we had time to talk about like what it was like in the studio. Like I loved acting out what it was like in the studio when people recorded songs like it's like a fun skit, and so I would do those that we would say like fuck George Bush, but then we would do like 20 minutes about how the Vancouver Canucks, is it the Vancouver Canucks, do you know? I'm assuming because you're northern, I'm like you're practically in Canada. um
In Chicago.
yeah, I don't know. So like the Vancouver Canucks are like some kind of Canadian hockey team. And like there's this song called we had joy. Oh no, wait. Yeah, was it? Yeah, we had joy. We had fun. We had seasons in the sun. But the wine and the song, like the seasons, have all gone. Goodbye, Papa. It's hard to die. Do you know that song?
Is that by Brad?
No, no, it's another song. It's a soft rock kind of song, but it's a song about dying, and it's just like a great song. But anyway, it's a really strange song. It was written by Jacques Brel, and but it was done by this guy named I can't believe I can't remember his name. But anyway, the B side of that song is this song called "Put the Bone In." So the A side is a song called that became a big hit about dying. And I remember hearing that on the radio as a kid and being like really like got weird feelings from it. I was like, I kind of like this. What is it? He died? In the song, he died. It was Goodbye, Papa. It's hard to die. It was like a major AM radio hit in the 70s.
Yeah.
So on the B side was Put the Bone In, which was an original written by this guy because the A side was written by Jacques Brel, and the B side was a song called Put the Bone In about a lady who went to the butcher and asked for a steak for her her dying dog or whatever. And like, anyways, just this crazy song. And it turns out the Vancouver Canucks, because this guy was a big celebrity, I guess, this musician, and he had the Vancouver Canucks sing background. Like the whole hockey team sang background on the song Put the Bone In, because there's
Okay.
like a gang vocal part. So that was what I talked about. But now politics has become, so I'd be like, fuck
You
George
got a lot of
Bush.
listeners, huh?
I could tell. You guys are going to be able to see some of this. So yeah, I lost one listener as I was discussing that in real time. So
It's real niche, man. Wow.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like a lot of butchers liked it, probably.
Well, I didn't. I mean, that's well, the song is insane, and so that's what I was mostly talking about. I just like weird shit. Yeah. So, so,
Obviously.
but I haven't
Oh,
been able to
yeah.
get, but I haven't been able to get, um, now I can't get past the part. You know what I mean? It's hard to get past the part of the show where you say fuck George Bush. Like that was like fuck George Bush. I can't wait till the next election when we get rid of this guy. But now it's like, oh, fuck Donald Trump, but there might not be another election. So that's like a whole different, then you never get to talking about put the bone in and the Vancouver Canucks singing background,
Yeah.
like you never get to the silly shit. And I just am having a hard time. And since I can't balance it, I'm thinking about like just getting rid of the politics for a while because I am not fixing anything. And that is hard to accept. But I am not going to be able to stop this. And I think in 2005 or 2009 or 2011, it felt like, yes, like maybe we could stop. Maybe we could, our voice would be. I mean, I think always talking about is comforting to other people who feel the same way. But that's not the same as fixing anything. It's like just being like, someone can listen to me talk about this is fascism, and that feels good to hear because you can't hear it on the news, because they won't say this is fascism. So you can say this is fascism in case anyone was wondering, and then people feel good, and I like that.
People feel validated because it is sort of like this, and I think the term is overused, but like this mass gaslighting of things we're clearly seeing happen, and then we're being told that's not what's happening. So it's like, you know, we're supposed to, it's nice, it's comforting when someone does say something like this is fascism or
Right.
this, because you go, oh, thank God, I'm over here thinking that same thing
Yes.
and no one's saying it, so I feel fucking crazy, which is a weird byproduct of this whole mind fuckery anyway. But I think we all do feel a little powerless in some way, and just like we don't know what actionable steps we could take to do anything besides. I think social media is a detriment because we do get on there and we do post, and then we feel like maybe we've done something and we really haven't. And
Right.
if we didn't have that, the pressure would be built up so much it would blow. Whereas social media lets the steam out just enough where it's contained. So unfortunately, we are spreading information. There's a lot of misinformation. So
Yeah.
there's some pros to it, but at the same time, it's letting out the actionable moments where things get real. It's like taking that away from us, I think. But neither here nor there. The way I feel about it today and lately is I don't know if you saw maybe it was in Portland, but that there was a protest, an anti-ICE Trump protest.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was No Kings.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a man that was yelling like yes, Trump, whatever, and he had glasses and like a blue vest. Did you see this? He was like walking and he was like basically like just being a dick to the protesters and
Oh, I
being
know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, the guy who got his glasses stolen.
yes. So let's just use him as what is the word? Like an allegory?
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so let's just say that he represents that whole,
Parable.
oh, thank you.
Sure. Whatever. No, it's fine.
Um,
Both are right.
analogy,
Yeah. Analogy.
metaphor.
An avatar or something to use the. I
Oh,
mean, I don't know. He's an avatar for.
for the whole administration and all of this. Okay. So
Mhm.
he's arrogant, he's cocksure, he's all this stuff, and he's, basically gloating in people's faces as they're exercising their free speech and their rights. And what happens? He gets a little pushback, which he reacts to like, an enraged narcissist would.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to humiliate himself and fall on his face multiple times. And then he was done because he fucked his own shit up.
Yeah.
And so I think that guy, I mean, God bless that guy because he really made me feel better. Because when I saw him, that happen to him, I went, well, that's how it goes. We just, unfortunately, there's people right now, it's like the SNAP benefits, we're, donating to food pantries and the things that we can do to help people that
Yeah.
are actually being affected today.
Hmm.
And then and community, like, support if you can do that somehow. But basically, this is going to have to just there, whoever's really in charge, I think, is letting this fucking idiot that they all can't stand make an ass out of himself and his followers. And it's taking a lot longer than I think anybody suspected.
Uh-huh.
Then they're gonna come in and fix it. I mean, that's how things go. And it just sucks that it's taking people. I mean, now I'm rambling, but like last
No,
night,
no.
a
This
fucking
show's all about rambling.
he had a fucking Gatsby party for
Yeah.
Halloween on the day that people lost their food. And you know what? It was perfectly fitting because Gatsby was also completely full of shit. And so, of course, like he doesn't get that. But
Hmm.
whoever's orchestrating him around like a fucking puppet is making fun of him. He doesn't even know. And it could be a fucking demon. I don't know who's doing it,
Right, right.
or it could be, some foundation. I don't fucking know, but they're
Hmm.
playing in the face of him and his followers, and he doesn't know what's going on. He is doing all of this because he was going to go to jail otherwise. So he's not some mastermind. He's a fucking old man that's fucked because he fucked kids or whatever. And now he's got to do what wherever they put him. He's not some like brilliant
Right.
fucking guy. You know what I mean? So I don't have any even hatred towards them anymore. I'm just like, it's a shame we all have to watch this humiliation ritual for America that's going on, but it will end eventually. It's just a lot of people are falling for it, unfortunately.
Right. I'm just trying to figure out how to like I'm not very good at like when you do your shows, okay, so just like I think if no one has heard if you didn't hear the show before and you don't know about Kristen is a stand-up. And great stand-up and does lots and lots of shows, works a lot. And and I think, when you work, when you don't talk about politics on stage much, like or maybe you do, I don't know. Not
Not too much. I mean, I will.
crowd work, maybe you will.
No,
I've seen you
I
do it
will.
crowd work.
Yeah, I will with crowd work and like if something like the ice stuff I've kind of been bringing up a little bit here and there. You maybe interestingly, 3 weeks ago when I was bringing it up, it was working, people were laughing, but
Yeah.
because everybody now that I know has had some like immediate person in their life fucked with,
Yeah.
it's no longer like people aren't laughing at it anymore because even when I'm saying shit that I'm not like, obviously I'm saying
You're
like,
not saying ice is hilarious.
right. But the tone of it has
Right.
changed because it's become such a
That's
reality.
exactly what I mean. Okay, so that's what I mean. Like it's like for me, it's like this is so dire now that to discuss it is not, there's no comedic angle on it. So it's like it just becomes I am doing politics. Like and I'm trying to basically, in whatever art form it is, like whether it's podcasting or art form, that's pretty, I don't know if most people don't consider podcasting an art form. I do at its best. But you know, it, anyway, whatever you're using your voice for, um, I am like I can't just be like it's the end of the world and then switch to talking about like scratchy old vinyl records or talk about like, whatever it is I want to talk like Bigfoot or whatever, the things that I really like to talk about, which are just weird subjects like, um
Well, you can, dude. Like I did that joke I mentioned that was so popular. That was saying that Gen Z is the last one. There's no more generation. I mean, we're like cooked, you know?
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I
yeah.
said, and I really didn't know it was going to go off like that. But like, you can say that, and you can transition. Last night at the Emmys, I made a joke. I wore flat shoes because I said in Chicago, you never know when somebody's going to try and throw you in a van.
Hell yeah.
So I said that, and a room full of journalists, and it got
Good
them.
job. Yeah, yeah, sure.
But yeah, I think you can.
I think, yeah, you're just a better comedian than me.
No, there's just a way you
I'm
got to
like, there's
say
only
it.
one way to discuss this, and it's just miserable. And you're like, no, no, that's not true. You can be a
No,
comedian.
I think, there's the right way to say
Uh,
anything.
I think
You
for me, I just get so, I think it's really just, I think I just don't know what to do. I've been like
But also some of the
considering,
shit's not worth it. Like I just said, you know, is it doable? You can say something in transition, but like, are you gonna fucking ruin someone's night? That's like when people say the R word, I don't say that because
yeah,
it's like, yeah, some people are gonna laugh, but that one person that has a loved one with like Down syndrome
yeah,
that
yeah,
has heard the hate behind that word, that's gonna ruin their fucking night. So like, why should what do I need to say that for?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the
Oh,
pain
yeah.
not worth it for me.
No, so, well, yeah, I think that's like, yeah, I just am trying to figure that out. So I'm
Should I
coming to
get coffee and get really jazzed?
You should. You definitely should. What is that
All
even a
right. Oh,
question? Are you crazy? Um, have you had coffee today?
oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My second one, but I gotta go easy on it.
Why is that? Do you have to go to bed early?
No, I just get jittery.
Oh, okay.
I get
Um,
like your cold brew post, dude. I know I've said this before, but like it's so funny to me because I was on cold brew like during my psychosis episodes. And so
you've told me that before. It's so insane.
it's so
But
like
I get it.
at the height of my paranoia, I was like, he's reading my mind. Chris
Why?
Crofton is reading
Why
my.
did um? So you actually had a psychotic break. Now that you brought it up, did you really have one?
Yeah. Oh yeah, honey.
And was that from emotional stress, or was that from drugs, or
Both probably.
like were you doing drugs though, like on a regular basis?
Well, in my family, I was smoking a lot of weed and taking edibles,
Oh,
and
okay, okay, okay,
in my family, like THC causes psychosis.
okay.
Yeah.
That happened to my
Yeah.
friend. My
Yeah.
friend became schizophrenic in his 40s.
Oh gosh.
In his 40s, like I didn't even know that was a possibility, and it was because he smoked pot 24/7, and it turned out that triggered
It can like unlock some.
it triggered his damn schizophrenia.
Thank God it cleared up. I got sober and I was like over medicated for since I was 17 and all this stuff, which I probably just needed like talk therapy, but
Sure, sure.
put me on pills. And so anyway, I'm better now.
Yeah, that's I love I mean, yeah, yeah, me too. I mean, I've had
It was
I
crazy as shit,
don't
man, but I'm better now.
I've never I don't think I never had psychosis, I don't think, but I mean, you could go talk to
Tomato,
19 you could
tomato.
talk to 1997 me walking down a subway tunnel in the middle of the night, drunk, blind drunk, and see if that's, ask that guy if he has psychosis. But but
He's listening to bread and his
yeah,
walk.
oh, 100%. Like, I mean, I was, psychosis, yeah, exactly. You don't know. Who knows? I probably had it 12 times. But, but, yeah, like, I had like the most, I had a, what, hypomanic where I had to go to a place to settle down.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where I drank for like a couple weeks and then I couldn't stop talking with a Southern accent. And went to my therapist and I was like, I can't go back to work with a Southern accent. And she was like, "Yeah, you can't go to work at all. You have to
Yeah.
go
You
with
gotta
me.
go lay
You have to
down.
go with me in a cab." So that's what I did.
Uh,
But I really did. I was like self-aware enough to know
you needed help.
like I
Yeah.
can't stop. It was because I'd been hanging out with the guy who became schizophrenic, who was from Texas. And we'd spent 2 weeks drinking. And I was like
He was
in this
rubbed off.
heightened, what's that?
He rubbed off on you,
Well,
maybe.
yeah, he was such a great guy. He was
He
a
had
really
that
great
catching
guy.
schizophrenia, that catching schizophrenia.
Well, you know about that thing
Boy.
where the two people go crazy together? Did you know about that? Where you know about those Swedish twins who ran around the freeway and did you know
No,
about that?
no, but Swedish twins sounds like a snack.
Okay. Well, well, these twins were not a snack. They were murderers. And
Oh
these
no.
Swedish twins, you can go online. Have you heard about
And
online?
I
Have
need
you heard
like
of
reasons for
Oh
this.
wow, yeah. Have you heard of
Okay.
online? You can go online.
Heard of.
Kristen, you can go online and you can
I
read a
won't and look up murderers.
okay, well, these two women,
They're women murderers? Maybe I will.
well, they were these two Swedish twins,
I love
and
a woman murderer.
and they were doing some documentary about the highway patrol in I think they were visiting England. So I think it was like on the MI6 or whatever. Or is that no, that's the name of their damn that's the name of their what like CIA or whatever. Whatever the name of the highway is in England. The tube. Um so so they were on the highway and they were doing a documentary and these two Swedish twins like ran in the middle of the road while they were shooting the documentary and got hit by cars. And then
But they had been killing people?
no, no, it was after that. So they got hit by cars and then they got taken in because they were like good looking,
Oh,
young, blonde Swedish twins. And so like a bunch of men were like, "Oh, I'll help them and they can come stay with me." And then they murdered one of the guys with a hammer. But they had
rape them.
what's that?
He was probably trying to rape them.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that part, but I know that
Obviously, he was. Well,
well,
you haven't been
I
a
think
woman very long,
the other
have you?
one,
You haven't
what's
been a woman very long, have you?
well, anyway, aside from the fact that men are obviously all monsters, and I understand that, these
It's one in
women,
five, motherfucker.
had, what did you say?
I said at least one in
That's what
five.
I thought you said. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm having
I
trouble.
made
Sorry
that
about,
up, but it sounds right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's knocked over my microphone. All hell, like, so yes, but the thing is that these women had something called like something it's a French term for when you go crazy together. They were not psychotic when they were separate. So the
Yeah.
two sisters became crazy only when they were together. And it's shared psychosis and it's some kind of so anyway, that can happen. So I
It's
that
like
could have happened
a puzzle.
for real. And so you can go online and see you can go on YouTube and watch these Swedish twins running around in traffic getting hit by cars. They got hit by like cars going like 60 miles an hour and they were okay and then they like were like someone was like, "I'll take you."
Okay, so I got a question.
Yeah.
Let's say it's up to you and I only. No one
Mhm.
else is allowed or able to figure out what causes that. Now, there's a couple routes we could go.
Mhm.
You think it's some kind of,
Okay.
you think
I'm not
it's,
sure I know what's happening, but go ahead.
you think it's some chemical between them, like pheromone type shit? You think it's you think it's something in their DNA, like physical, biological. You think it's something like demonology thing,
I definitely
spiritual.
don't think what that's that.
Okay, well then I'm out.
Uh
It's all on you now then.
I don't know, yeah, I mean maybe it's like getting the band together or whatever. Maybe they're just like, yeah, it's like maybe it's like Hall and Oates together, when there's magic. I don't know. Maybe they're just like, "Oh, me and you are about to do some trouble." Like maybe it's a decision like we got the band
Didn't
together.
you have like a friend like that when you were kids where you got into more trouble with that friend?
Yes, yes, but I never killed anybody with a hammer.
Right, that's what
Um
I'm saying. So we've all had that experience, but then what makes that their relationship? Now they're actually twins or they just look alike?
No, they're twins. They're twins. They got in a lot of trouble. You got to look it up. I should have done research before the show if I was going to bring up the twins because I don't know. I totally believe that like that man that took her in like probably deserved to be killed with a hammer, but I don't know the details. But anyway, but in general, they were
I would
looking.
say 85% he had it coming.
I think you're right, but I also think that they were in the market for somebody to kill with a hammer already. And that's like those are the details of the story that I don't have. But
That could be,
next time we talk,
or he was, yeah, I don't know. Things can get out of control. I got to look at the rest of them, but just off what I know, I would say he had it coming.
Swedish Twins Highway. I just Googled it. Hold on a second. Swedish Twins Highway. Oh, here they are. Yep. Okay. Ursula Eriksson and Sabina Eriksson, born in 1967, are
What
Swedish. What's that?
year was the murder?
2008.
Okay.
They are Swedish twin sisters who came to national attention in the United Kingdom. They'd been in Ireland before traveling to the UK and boarding a bus for London. After exiting the bus at a service station on the M6, that's the trick. They shouldn't have named the spy agency so close to the highway. M6.
Throw people off.
Yes, like me doing an important like me and you
Or,
doing important work that we're trying to do here.
oh, fix everything. We only got
Yes,
hours left.
their odd behavior caused
We're
caused
starting
the
right at the top, right here. We're going right to the problem. Two women that killed somebody finally. Golly.
oh
Let's
God,
focus
I
on the real
love that. I can't even.
criminals.
I'm
Let's hear
just.
about the real criminals, these women that beat the fucking prick to death. All right.
Oh my God, this is such an interesting twist on. I'm like what I'm trying to get to is I'm not. I've been somehow now. I'm like I just have to be like, listen, these women were justified. I don't even know that need to know the details. All I wanted to say was a couple women finally fucking got their shit together and killed somebody, and someone characterized it as shared psychosis. We're done.
Yeah.
Um, so so I'm just being schooled here. So anyway, they dashed into the motorway. Um,
Being chased by another man.
and then I'm done. Okay, I'm done. So I can't. I'm not doing any more of that. I'm not reading any more setups for Kristen. Um,
Oh,
so
fuck's sake, man.
okay. So Kristen, I think we talked about as usual on my show. We've gotten absolutely nothing done. But
I
you
think we solved a lot of problems.
okay? Well, we figured out certainly that there's no such thing as a woman who's a criminal. We so anyway, she's just anyway, a woman who's psychotic is really just fucking
Done.
doing the right thing.
Done
Um,
pretending. She's just done pretending for the day.
well, I was driven insane by my father. So I mean, I've been men are just given a lot of room to be psychotic, and no one describes it that way. Um, but you hosted the Emmys. I don't think I even did we talk about that in the beginning for a second?
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay, but you host what's that?
We talked about it enough.
How many times have you done it though?
That was the first
It's the
one.
first time I saw you dressed up. You look great. It's just so crazy how Chicago has like its own everything now. See, I want to move to Chicago because it has like its own, like it's got a governor that's like saying stuff that makes sense, whether or not he's a good guy. I don't know. I don't trust any billionaires, but still he's saying stuff that makes sense, whatever his purpose is. And then there's, like, they have their own Emmys. So like I can move to Chicago and like start a new life, like where there's our own, like, we have our own Emmys and stuff like that. Like there's no Emmys here in Nashville.
No, maybe there is for the.
No, there's CMAs and stuff. Like there's just a fascist country music establishment. I mean, this town is speaking of cooked. I mean, this town is like a nightmare. I mean, it's really this town is going to be a stronghold. If there is like this sort of dystopian future, Nashville will be one of like the capital of the new Confederacy. I mean, this is like the tech. This is
Really?
where the tech people want to be. Yeah. I mean, this is a town that is has been sold as like a safe haven for this type of behavior. So, I mean, there's
So
still
the
a lot of
opposite
good,
of
what's that?
Chicago. The opposite of Chicago. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's still a lot of good
literally
people here.
the opposite. Yeah.
There's still a lot of good people here because it wasn't until like 2012 when they started to figure out how to make over the city,
Mm.
but it was waiting to happen. Like the people out, the former slaveholders that are just lurking all in the countryside with tons of money still left over from that period of history. We're just waiting for their moment to exploit this city. That's the thing is all the bad people in Nashville lived in the suburbs because they couldn't figure out how to monetize Nashville. And they thought Nashville was low life, liberal, scumbag, like, those kind of people live in the country because that's where they think that's God's kingdom to them. You know what I mean? Like the city to them looks like, oh, that's Sodom and Gomorrah, just all this nonsense, these absurd ways they view things like that they think people choose to live in the city because they're just morally degraded, not because there's jobs there. Like, and they don't have slave money, so they can't live in a big vacant part of the country where they can just, have everything delivered by DoorDash. Like that's what you know what I mean? So the suburbs of Nashville were waiting to
Take
turn
this.
this place into what it's becoming. And now Larry Ellison is going to have the headquarters. I mean, Larry Ellison is one of the worst actors in this whole world at the moment, and he's about to establish Oracle's headquarters in Nashville, the world headquarters of Oracle. Oracle is like funding Israel. Oracle is funding. Uh, you know, Larry Ellison has spoken publicly at length about how he thinks the surveillance state is like what we should have, like a full surveillance state where we can see what people are doing all day long at all times to make sure they're not committing crimes. And that's our whole city is welcoming this guy with open arms. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just a place where
But
I don't want to be anymore. I don't know if I'm going to move to Chicago, but I can't be. This is the future. Is not. This is not going to get fixed in the next. It's not going to get fixed fast enough to save Nashville. Nashville is going to be nasty, a nasty place to be.
well, I don't know much about that, but I do know that you're welcome here. I would love to have you come up here.
I'm
And
coming up there.
I know next, what is that? Next to the 17th.
The 17th, I'm showing the documentary. I gotta send you the flyer thing. And you
Yeah.
can set it's only holds like the place only holds like 25 people.
No,
So
it's like 40.
maybe, I don't know. It's like we're trying to show the movie, like we're trying to get the movie into Sundance and like or South not Sundance, what's the other one? South by Southwest or Tribeca, which I don't believe is gonna happen, but we can't show like big screenings. Like we showed it in LA and it was great. It's such a great movie. And it really is. It really is. And
It is great. I've seen it.
I know I sent you. Yeah, I'm so glad you watched it. And I got to see it the third time. I kind of got to really watch it because the first time it was like
You're
class
welcome in your
reunion.
face.
It was just
Yes.
like it was crazy. Like my all my friends were there, and my dad was like there and everything. And and
I'm
then the
sorry
second
about your dad, by the way.
thanks. Yeah, my dad passed away 10 days ago or something like about that, but he had been sick since he had fallen down and hit his head in July. So I thank you. He passed in a very beautiful way.
I
Huh?
didn't know. I didn't know if I should bring it up, so I was waiting.
Oh no, he passed in. Oh, no, it's okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't. There's nothing. It was. My father was a guy who just was destined. He just was one of those guys that wouldn't take any advice. And maybe I'll be that guy. Maybe we'll all be that person. I ascribe that to boomers behavior. But I mean, maybe when you turn 80, you just start saying, "No one's going to tell me what to do." I don't know. I can imagine that. What?
I'm saying that now.
Right. That's what I mean. So I might. Like I always say, like boomers won't take any suggestions, but I
I'm like,
just probably gonna be like that
I'm
too.
listening.
Might be human nature. So he just like was like, I'm not changing anything. Like he fell down like so many times, and he just was like, I never get hurt. He just that was what he started to think. Like I never get hurt. I fall down all the time. You're right, but I never get hurt. So who cares? And then we knew he was going to get hurt one day, but I thought it would probably be his hip, but he hit his head. He got up in the middle of the night to get like yogurt or something and um you know and he had a beautiful ending. Excuse me, he opened his eyes and at the end and he'd been out for a couple of days and he opened his eyes with intention with like 3 minutes left to live and he died like looking at us. and I got to say all this great stuff to him. Like, I really got to say like we're rooting for you and stuff like that, which is like also like I when I was younger, all I did was hate my dad. It was like I had like a belt buckle that said I hate my dad. Like that was my life. You know what I mean? Like if anyone asked me like what are your two things? I like to drink and I hate my dad.
Meet my dad.
Yeah. So to be able to be at this point where I could be like genuinely like no hate toward no just nothing but love for him
Yeah,
was awesome.
that's a blessing. And you
You
know
know,
what? It's as, to be around people as they're transitioning or passing, it's like you see a lot of like grace and mercy, things like that happen where somebody will smile or say something or come out of something just to give that loved one that healing or
have
moment.
you seen that?
Yeah, that's very common.
But have you seen how did you see it? Have you had a lot of people pass that you've seen?
Well, I worked with the elderly,
I knew that, but I knew you were mostly trying to make them like, cut out like paper dolls and stuff. I thought you were
but I've been with people right before they pass, and
really?
yeah. And my own grandmother, her last words were to me, she wasn't talking and she was on a, oxygen mask,
Hmm.
and I was holding her hand and I said, I love you. And she said, I love you too. And then she passed about 30 seconds later. And you
Wow.
know what? I felt it. I felt her go. I could just tell it was strange because it was like holding her hand when she died. It was like no longer her, like immediately.
Yeah.
It was so strange how it didn't feel like her at all anymore. So anyway, but yeah, it's beautiful how you get those blessings, those moments.
Well, it was kind of, yeah, it was like a real, because I Googled it right away because I was like, I don't want to I mean, I'm like allergic to being spiritual for some reason because I grew up in Connecticut or something.
Hate your
But,
dad
and because of my dad, I guess.
because you hate your dad.
Yeah. So like I was
You're,
like,
now you hate your spiritual dad. Still hating your dad.
yeah. So I like was like right away, like Googled like eyes open, like, side effect or, like something. But there isn't anything on someone opening their eyes fully after being out for a couple days straight and like with 2 or 3 minutes left to live.
You know what? You should, if you want to look more up about that,
I do want to look more up about that.
I recommend a hospice nurse. Look up this hospice nurse. I don't know her name, but she's done a bunch of podcasts and she's been with people and people when they die, and she talks about stuff like this.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, it was really beautiful. I mean, I'm kind of like uncomfortable talking about it, but I mean, not because of you bringing it up at all, but just how to talk about it. But it was like,
It was rude not to say something.
oh
So
no, thank you. No, no, thank you. It
like
was,
I'm
it
rude
was,
either way.
I forget. Are your parents both alive?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this was the
I
first
mean, I
time.
haven't talked to him in the past few minutes, but
I I
I mean, God, I hope.
well, okay, I think I'm gonna bet I hope I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah,
But
don't say anything.
I won't say anything. So yeah, so I was I'd never seen a parent die. I mean, this my mom's alive, and so I just had never seen anything like this. And I didn't I just was kind of amazed I about because he really had been like completely out. And then he opened his eyes all the way. And my mom and sister said they were there too. And they said, I just left and come back. And I walked in the room and they were like, it's happening. It's happening.
They wait for you to, sometimes they wait for you to leave too.
Yeah.
My grandfather waited for us to leave because they don't want to die in front of you. Sometimes they do it with you there. Um, and sometimes they're talking to people like angels or
Are you
whoever.
religious?
Yeah.
You
Well,
are.
I would say, yeah, I'm spiritual. I don't like go to a single church or anything and into a like brick and mortar church.
Right. Do you,
But
do,
I
I'd
can't
never heard brick and
tell.
mortar applied to a church before. Interesting.
Can't you
Um,
tell?
can't I tell? I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell. You seem fine. You seem I don't know what. Yeah, actually yeah, I think it's good. You seem like you don't go into a brick and mortar church, which I think is good for people. So yes, you look well.
Thank you.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it was just sort of
Anyway,
amazing. I didn't know what to expect, and I certainly didn't know. I just felt like there was something happened. Like my sister and my mom said that he tried to smile. They swore he did. So it was like, I mean, it was just something else. It was really kind of beautiful, and it made me think about like that there's more going on. I think about that all the time anyway. I believe in ghosts. I've seen a lot of ghost stuff.
yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, like once you have start having those kinds of experiences with that kind of darkness stuff, it's like, well, if that's real, and you see how mostly everything has an opposite. So it's like, I mean, everybody's on their own journey, whatever.
Yeah,
But
I don't know that it means I'm going to have an afterlife just because I'll be able to. If my afterlife is smashing people's plates or like hiding their screwdriver, like I'm not sure that's like counts as an afterlife. But I also think that I always think about this like we're not plugged in. That's what amazes me is like you know how we have to plug everything in, and we as people are unplugged and we run around everywhere. And I think that is I think that is spiritual.
yeah,
Like, I mean, how else does it work? Like, what? We're an electric, like, meat robot? Like, that's like an unplugged electric meat robot? Like, that's pretty unusual.
maybe we recharge with water,
Yeah, it was kind of unusual, though, that we're not plugged in.
like a hydro machine.
Yeah, we're a hydro machine. We finally gotten there.
Hey, man,
Um,
what else do you want to know?
no, that's it. We're a hydro machine. So yeah, on the 17th, I'm gonna come up and show this movie. And I was talking to Kristen right before we started talking, and this movie starts out um, when I started doing stand up, I thought, well, if I was dirty, first of all, I grew up in a house where my dad was always saying he was going to kill himself. So, like, when I was like 5, so he'd be like, I'm going to kill myself. Life is meaningless and all that kind of stuff. He would say that right to me. And then I'd have to go to baseball practice. So it was like
Yikes.
weird, right? But I was like, oh, my superpower is hearing like horrible shit all the time and then having it not affect me. So you know what I mean? Like I can listen to anything. Someone could say, I'm gonna kill myself, and I'll be like, that's fine, I'm gonna have a sandwich. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh, that's my special talent. So then I also was like, well, if he's gonna say that, then I'm gonna say whatever I want. So I talked about when I got to school, I was like, oh, I can talk about stuff, and other people are like, wow, you say crazy stuff. And I'm like, yeah, like I can do it because I have like special permission
Yeah.
or something. So then, like, but I think when I grew up, I was like, well, if I'm dirty as hell and stand up, then I won't bomb. Like, I'll just freak people out, and that's better than bombing. So, like,
Okay.
if I freak everybody out,
Yeah, you're getting something.
yeah, that's like, oh yeah, and especially
Like one
also,
point. You get 1 point for that.
yeah, and I was also mad at everybody who was happy. So I was like, if I made people upset, then I felt like that was and then you can always get a corner of the crowd or part of the crowd who are mad at other people too. And then if you make some people unhappy, then they say, you're the best stand up. I love that. You had that table of happy people and you told them that they're, said a bunch of stuff about pussy juice until they all got sad. You know what I mean? Like, you're the best stand up I've ever heard of, and I'm like, yeah, I am. But then secretly you're like, no, I'm not.
You're like, why do I get mad when people are happy? That seems
Right.
like a bad way to live.
I told my friend Connie
Are you
told me
done
she had
with
a
that
night.
or you still have that?
What's that?
Like if you see people happy now, how do you feel?
Oh, I feel fine now, or it's depending unless they're MAGA. But I mean, like I feel fine with regular people being happy.
Yeah.
But although like I think in the future in this country, if people are happy, I'm gonna start. It's gonna be hard. If you see someone who's happy, you're gonna have a hard time being like, "What are you fucking happy about?" But what in terms of just seeing people who are happy and being drunk on stage and being a stand-up who was like, "Oh, you two seem happy," like
That's so funny. Wait, I have to say something because I just like thought I just admitted this to myself earlier today at the grocery store, and now it's coming up. So, and I was Um, I'm the opposite where I get upset when people are not happy. And
Okay.
I like to the point where like my need to make sure that everyone is happy around me and like being positive or like it's almost as problematic.
Oh, well, in my life, I'm like that.
Yeah,
I'm a
even like
people pleaser.
even a stranger, like I smile, I like try and, connect with people like almost too much. And then
Me too.
when but then again, when someone's a dick and someone has dick energy, then I'm like that with them. You know what I mean? And it's almost like then I have to like control how they're being. It's just like controlling.
Well,
I think because I'm so little, I feel like if I'm not an absolute controlling person,
how little are you?
then this big.
How
But you
tall are you? 5?
5 foot.
Solid 5? That's not bad.
Yeah.
My mom's 4'11".
But I think if I'm not, anytime I put that down, somebody is like trying to fucking push me around in some way. You know what I mean? Or influence me or whatever. And I don't like
Yeah.
that. So it's like I've always kind of had to be that way. And I think, whatever. I just feel like everybody's got to be, I want everybody to be happy. And I don't even think it's like, oh, I really wish you were happy, which is what I've always told myself until today, where I was kind of like, you know what? You're like, you don't have to make everyone be fucking happy all the time. Like, that's kind of the feeling that I have is
Well,
like,
that's what's happening to me in this moment in it historically. Like what a horrible moment for people pleasers. I'm the same way, except for on stage was my secret place where I got to be mean to people, where I got to let go of my that at that time, my drunken stage persona, which was like for years here in Nashville. I didn't travel. I was just this like local phenomenon because this was a small town. It was before these suburban slaveholding people had figured out how to fucking take over Nashville. This was a town that was left to, we had nobody here doing stand up. We had like 5 stand ups. So I was like, I just got to do, I got to act out whatever. I got to do hour and a half sets. I did hour and a half sets like every time. Like I was just like, I would just book myself into a rock club because I also had a popular band. So I would just be like, oh, it's not the band this time. It's just me, but it just give me the same amount of time as a band. So I would just do, but in that time, I was just, that was the place where I got to be angry, was on stage. Like, whereas the rest of my life, and even coming off stage, I would be a people pleaser because the way I grew up was my family was convinced because my father was so strange that we were going to, my mom was, I mean, this is,
wait,
she
I
would,
just want to say, because real before we glaze over that, I think you're right. And I think that applies to me as well without even consciously realizing that was what I was doing. And I don't know if the word's ironic, but the fact that we found a place where we could still please people while being our worst
yeah,
self
yeah, yeah.
in our own mind
Yes.
is like just shows how strong that need is in us, like to be a people pleaser is like we found the one place where you can
Yep.
get up there and tell everybody the awful
Yep.
shit you've either done or thought or want to say or whatever. And they'll laugh in giving the approval, like you go before the tribe and it's like, you're not going to get killed, you get away with it. And, but it's just ironic, like the one place we went to go be a dick, we still got people's approval.
Yes. And I think like if you're smart, you can figure that stuff out without even knowing. You can figure out all this like, oh shit, like you without even knowing like that I'm setting up a place where I can be mean, but I'll still get approval. Like
I didn't
that's
realize that at
I
all.
didn't realize it in that
But I
exact way that you're saying it until
But
just now.
yeah, me neither. But I needed that as well because when I was pushing down all of that rage, and then
Yep.
for years I was getting up there and just letting that
Yep.
out,
Yep.
and it was scary to people, but entertaining, and people were like, "Whoa!" And it was just like that pressure cooker kind of feeling
Well, it
again.
also leads to like this sort of Jekyll and Hyde sort of just this internal like sort of like even if people don't see it, like it, like wait a minute, I'm because I would come off stage and immediately be nice again, and then be people from the audience would be mad at me for something I said, and I'd be like, "Don't you know I was kidding? Like I didn't even like that. I didn't even accept responsibility for what I said on stage because I thought it was a safe. Like I'm like, oh no, this is art. You can't be mad at me. Like
Mm.
no, but you directly said something rude to me. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, but that was no, that's the place I'm allowed to. No, I want to be your friend. I want to be everybody's friend.
I have a question since you brought that up. Do you think that that's true? Like, does art, like music, for instance, like let's say I wrote a song about you and you know it's about you, but I'm not gonna tell you it's about you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, oh, Chris is a fucking asshole, piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, hey, like, you like my
Mm-hmm.
song?
Yep.
Do you think, because maybe that's how I felt when I wrote it, but I don't feel like that today. You
Sure.
know, that's what everybody says, right? But I'm still going to get the money from singing this song and I'm still going to sing it for the next 30 years. Do you think that that is something that should hurt your feelings or that I should apologize for? Or do you think that that's just art and there's no, and then maybe you're being like, who's being the dick in that confrontation?
I don't think I think that you can be held responsible for what you do in your art. I could totally that's not an excuse. If I wrote if you wrote, if you hypothetically wrote some horrible song about me, I wouldn't have to be nice to you. And like that was what I was expecting. I was like, no, no, you have to be nice to me because that was art. That's my but then you straighten that. I mean, being drunk was also like a key component of that because it is like it was pretty clear to me. Anybody who saw me, but everyone else was drunk too, so they wouldn't see like, oh, that's weird that he's mean on stage, and then right afterward he wants to be everybody's friend. Like, what a strange way to be, But none of that seemed because it's just like, oh no, punk rock is when you're mean on stage, and then afterward that goes away. It doesn't matter what you did on stage, and like punk rock is a form of which definitely was like I was invested in because I was like, oh, these are my people. They're mad, but they're nice.
Mm-hmm.
They're mad, but they're nice. Like, what is that?
Yeah, there is
They're
some,
mean, but they're nice.
yes, dude. And I like that because like Mo Good, this comedian in Chicago, she says, I'm not nice. Wait, what does she say? I'm a good person. Like I don't have to be nice.
Yes, and I think
Huh?
I still can be yes, I can still be mean on stage like, like I can be
I
it's
think
just
we
not
all,
quite what's that?
I said we all can and we should be able to
Yes,
because
it's just
there are
not
times where you need to be mean on
it's
stage.
not quite as pathological now that I don't drink because I just don't now I can pull it apart and be like, "Oh, wait a minute. I know what I'm doing here." Like it just is very um it's like when you're in your pain and you don't want to talk about it to yourself or to other people. Like you don't want to examine it. You just want to do this thing that seems to be working, like to deal with it. Like I have this system. I don't really want to examine it. I know there's something wrong with it. It doesn't make any sense, but I don't want to talk about it and I don't want to figure it out because right now I'm just working in a restaurant, doing shows and getting drunk and it seems like I have enough friends and but eventually
Yeah. I mean, that's even giving yourself a little bit more credit probably than we both at that time had of like, I wasn't even going like, oh, I'm doing this, this, and this. Like it was just a sort of
survival.
survival.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
No, it was.
Yeah.
And then
And
you get past that if you're lucky. You get to get past survival and get into living,
yes.
which is hard. I'm having a hard. Always have trouble with the stuff that letting people in after a long time of having a system
Mhm.
that whether I knew it or not was all about building walls is what it was about. It was about wanting to not get hurt because I'd gotten hurt so much as a kid that I just didn't want to get hurt anymore. So I was like, I'm going to get to express my rage. I'm also going to get to make sure that I don't lose my support system because I need one because I'm too sad to take care of myself. So I need people to love me in an outsized way. Just like my mom was basically like, listen, we have a messed up family. You're going to need to sing for your supper, but luckily you're charming and it's going to work. And so that was sort of my thing. So you can't be mean and also be singing for your supper simultaneously.
Very few people can. Yeah.
But you think maybe you can. And that's what I thought for a long time. But I was isolated. I had a bubble of people who came to my shows, and that was about it. Most people who were not drunk thought I was a jerk.
Yeah.
I ran into people when I started dating this woman, and she said, "My friends think you're a jerk." And I was like, "Why?" Like totally like, like why? Like like, but why? And she was like, damn well why. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess, but don't they know that's art?" Like and but I was slipping. It was slipping. Everything was falling apart for me then. Then I realized like, "Oh wait, like, no, I don't understand. I am like isolated. I found this little pocket of people that get me and maybe know I'm a nice person, and so they tolerate this like this act I do. But why are people who don't know me don't know I'm nice, and they actually are just seeing, oh, this guy's a jerk, And I don't want to be a jerk. I don't want to be a people pleaser either. But I want to be, but I want to be something that's closer to the truth than what I was doing. So anyway, this documentary is about kind of like in 71 minutes like kind of talks about that, just about like finding my way out of that. It doesn't mean that journey's ever done or that process is ever done, to not use the word journey for God's sake. But the but to get out of that is like, um first of all, you got to stop drinking and doing drugs, because it's just impossible to get out of anything when you're doing that. I don't know how to explain it beyond that. You just can't get out of stuff. You just can't figure, there's no way you can make a significant change in your life while you're still getting
Wow.
fucked up.
Yeah.
But the beginning of the documentary has some of my old dirty stand up in it. And like my thing was like, listen, you think dirty? You think dirty. Oh, you think I'm going to say something like, I don't know what you think I'm going to say. Something about somebody's period or something? No, I'm going to talk about cum until you want to run out of the building. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? No, you don't understand how many times I'm going to say cum. You think you like dirty stuff? How many, even if you do, you're not ready for the number of times I'm going to say come to you. And
Say it till you don't like it.
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So like my so I'm like, this is 2021, 20 maybe, when Seth sent me a rough cut of the movie, and I was really excited. So I said to my landlord, who was my friend in California,
Mhm.
Phil, I said, you want to see the rough cut? And he's like, "Oh yeah, totally." And then his wife was like, "I want to see it too." And I was like, and I knew his wife, and I was like, "You don't want to see this." I said, "You don't want to see it. It's just got dirty stuff, and it's got dirty stuff." She's like, "I love dirty stuff. What are you talking about? I love dirty stuff. What do you think? I'm uptight?" And I was like, "No, no, I don't, but I don't think you understand. Like, I think you should not see." Anyway, she was like, "I want to see it. You're out of your mind." And I put this thing on.
And
She moaned and screamed and covered her face, and she was angry at me for like a month because I said that
oh,
if
brother.
people are obsessed with anal sex, should just stay home and put rubber bands on their penis to simulate an anus. That was it. Like she was already like, it's not even. But then I was just the whole thing about like, if your boyfriend comes on your face, he doesn't like you, and if he films it, then he hates you, and that sort of thing. And then she was just so much talk about coming on people's faces, and she just, what's that?
That makes sense to me.
Well, no, oh
Coming on the
yeah,
face. Yeah.
it was, yeah. If you're anyway, it's not like genius stuff or anything. It was just,
No,
it
but
was just
it's observational
It was
humor.
just my old thing. Yeah, if your boyfriend comes on your face, he doesn't like you, and if he films it, he hates you. And then also, what if your boyfriend comes on your face like and videotapes you wincing? Does he also like watch? Does he videotape you as you open like rejection letters from colleges you want to get into? Anyways, that kind of thing. Like these are but it she just she
Couldn't
just
handle
anyway.
it. She
So
couldn't handle it. Yeah.
yeah, and so anyway, we did patch it up. But this
Good.
documentary, and also Seth toned down a little bit. I think the beginning was like really long. It was like,
Now, see, that's weird because like when it comes to a bit or something like that, like you saying that stuff doesn't bother me at all. Obviously, I hear stuff like that all the
yeah.
time. I've said it myself. But when now, if my neighbor Bill out here, when I'm walking to my car, said anything, even said, come here to
Hmm.
me,
Hmm.
I would fucking be pissed.
Yeah.
So, and weirded out. You know what I mean? So, the fact that she sat down to watch a documentary, though, It's like she knew you're a comedian. She knew it was about you being a comedian. And so,
Yeah,
like,
it was like I was kind of
shouldn't have been
mad.
that big of a
But she also was like, if she's listening to this, I mean, I also like get it. Like, there's no way to
She's
like
not listening to
I
this.
know. Oh my God, you don't understand. This thing has a huge audience. So a huge. Um, so yeah, so anyway, I felt like I understood. Like she
Brett,
thought the kind of dirtiness that it was gonna be was like Las Vegas kind of. I don't know what, but I mean they're pretty dirty. Like
Vegas.
I did a week in Las Vegas and the people that were performing with me who did way better than me were all doing sex jokes, like 100% just people
Yeah.
love hearing sex jokes. But I don't know what the
So sick of it. Honestly, to be honest, I really have strayed away from that. I mean, I used to do stuff like that, but it's not a part of my life. I think it was sort of a rebellion because as a housewife, I felt like an obligation to like have sex with my husband and put out, and it was like my duty. And that's how it felt. And that was my relationship with sex in general. And so I had a lot of resentment towards it.
oh
And so
sure.
I think that that was why I was talking about it so raunchy and like gross,
Sure.
you know what I mean? But yeah, it certainly isn't something that's really coming up to right about now. And I'll take the joke if it's there or whatever, but I'm not actively
No.
doing that. I feel like a decade and a half of that is plenty.
No, me neither. I'd much rather talk about like I'd
Wood
much
woodchucks or something.
anything. I mean like I like talking about like sobriety. I think there's a lot of funny stuff about that. I think there's I mean it'll never stop being wild to me after drinking for so long that I don't. So it's always going to be novel to me to talk about that to some
You
extent.
think my face should be bigger in the frame because your face is big in the frame?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, whatever you think. Yeah, go ahead, get your face rolled. Yes, we need a bigger face. Um, if you're not watching the video version of this, Kristen's face is now jammed up against the camera. But yeah, I don't know how to set up the room. This is the best I can do. I've got the background on the Zoom like blurred out.
Yeah, it looks weird.
Yeah, it's blurred out like so you can't see it's supposed to be
Like,
some
what are you
kind of
hiding? What's back there?
door frame. I mean, nothing good, nothing exciting. Um, but yeah, that's fine. Your head's more in line with mine. I don't think it makes any difference. I like the laid back. Are you talking into the microphone on your computer?
Yeah. Can you
That's
hear me?
great. Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah. I have this huge setup. I'm wearing headphones and everything, and Kristen looks totally relaxed. I look totally intense and upset. Um, and Kristen's just like sitting 50 feet away from the camera talking like a normal person. I'm hunched over a microphone. I don't know why. Wearing headphones. She has no, I have wires. She has nothing. She's just sitting in her room, a regular room.
I
Um,
know.
you look much more relaxed. I'm just gonna look like a psychopath. Uh,
No,
so not like a psychopath who runs around the freeway or kills men justifiably. Just a
case closed.
regular slang psychopath. So anyway, November 17th at 8 p.m. at my and Kristen's friend Britt's house slash venue in Chicago, uh, in Logan Square area.
Yeah.
You can look at
Sound
my
Space. What is it called?
her
Space
thing.
Sounds.
Oh, let me see what it's called.
I
I
think
didn't
it's
even.
called Space Sounds. It's on Fullerton. I know that in Chicago. And it's a nice venue. It's also a recording studio.
Yeah, and then the day before, I'm going to be in Davenport, Iowa, doing a show, playing music, and then day before that, I'm going to be in Kirksville, Missouri, playing music. And then the day before that, I'm going to be in Nashville playing music. But the one in I think the one in Chicago, we're just going to watch the movie and then maybe I'll like talk or something. But maybe do some stand up or something. But I mean, like once the movie's over, I think you have about a 10-15 minute window, and then people want to go home just because like the movie's pretty intense. Or it's like I think my model going forward will be to show it and then do like 20 minutes. You have like 20 minutes to play with after because then it's a 2 hour event or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Oh, like as long as it's not like you can't have a 20-minute Q&A because that's crazy. But like if you do like a quick Q&A and then you do like a performance of some
yeah.
kind, yeah. But just like I think just because I held that screening for that one movie and had to do like a quick Q&A and it's like people don't really have that many questions about things usually. You know what I mean? It's like that
What
awkward waiting for the next person to be
what
like,
movie was that?
all right, like, how did you feel about sharing your life or something?
What movie was that?
That Splitsville movie.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So this is Space Time.
Space Time.
Now,
That's
Space Time
write
three
that down. I can never fucking remember that. I always want to call it Sound Space. I don't fucking know. What
three
is it?
four one nine West Fullerton Avenue documentary screening and performance. I'm gonna put it up on my
Say it again.
stories.
What is it called again?
What's that?
What's it called again? Space Time?
Space Time. Monday, doors at 7, show at 8. And it's $5.
Nice.
So
Fugazi.
yeah, like Fugazi. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever see Fugazi?
Not live? No.
Yeah. You're too
I've watched
young.
stuff on YouTube.
You're too young. I saw him over and over again. Actually, you could have caught him in the early 2000s. Um, yeah, great show. They were very fun. And also like they were also funny. Like if you watch Instrument, the documentary about them,
Oh,
you can see that they were funny. They and people, I think it'll be one of those things like going forward historically they'll be thought of as like this serious band, but like since I was there, I always think it's important to point out they were not they were serious like in terms of like super well rehearsed and like tight as hell, but in between songs they talked like crazy. I mean, that's why I liked them so much. Like they were so funny. Like Ian talked to the audience forever. Guy was like more serious, but the two of them
that when
together,
it's good, you know. Sometimes that can be, I mean, you have to be funny to pull that
oh, they
off.
were funny.
Otherwise, it's really annoying because you're like, play the fucking song, asshole. I didn't
Oh,
come.
they were funny.
But you know who I think is really funny? Because they all say like, you know, the whole thing like musicians want to be comedians, comedians want to be music, whatever. Also, I feel like that's maybe true. I don't know. But
It's true, but that's because comedians, I mean, musicians have never been comedians. And if they were, they'd be like, I want to be a musician again.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, just because comedy's so much harder, that's all.
Well,
I mean, the
yeah,
conditions, like to do stand up, you can do stand up you have to have people. Like, you can play music to one person. Even if no one, I've played shows to just the sound guy. You cannot do that with stand up.
I've done that.
I've done it too, but it's not.
Lady show up to a show and I sat in the lobby and talked to her for
Yeah,
45
it's, I've done that shit
minutes.
too, but it's not. I mean, it's like, I think
Oh, but
musicians,
here's why musicians have
yeah,
it harder, in my opinion.
harder. Okay.
Yes, because they have to lug all that shit around. I
Oh,
just
that's
show
true.
up.
That's
I don't have
true.
to load in or
No, you're
any of
right
that.
about that.
And that is a pain in the ass. Like setting up drums. I had to set up my pad drum set once and it was a mess and it fucking collapsed. I would not want to deal with lugging shit around. That part.
Well, you're right.
Unless I was a flute player
It's
or
true
something,
too. You
something
could
like,
play just small instruments, piccolo.
yeah, piccolo. But anyway, forgot what I was talking about.
You were
But
talking about like,
oh,
yeah,
you
I
know who's really,
sidetracked you.
you know who's got a funny cadence and Beck could be a
Uh-huh.
Beck could be a comedian. I don't know if you've ever seen him live,
I have.
but he's very funny, like naturally funny. And one of the few front men that I go, oh, he could easily be a stand-up.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I've seen him.
he's natural.
Well, Ian and Guy were really funny together because Guy was like sort of in the zone, like during performances, like he would get just like he was like a shaman, like the way he danced around and stuff, it was just like so. Ian stayed like still firmly Ian, like just sarcastic punk rocker guy, and like kind of arrogant because he's Ian and Fugazi was so cool. But Ian would just talk to the audience like normally, and then sometimes Guy would chime in, and um, but Guy chimed in this way that was sort of more like up to just arrogant. Like this is the exchange I remember. Like Ian was saying like we're gonna play a lot of songs tonight from our we're gonna be playing songs from our entire category, and and Guy just dead seriously goes catalog and like steps back, and then Ian's like, ah, fuck. He's like, he looks at him like, you asshole. So they were kind of doing like a little like,
A little bit stuff.
yeah, and like Guy saying to a guy in the audience, which is in this movie Instrument, saying like, you're acting like a tough guy, you're beating people up in the audience, but I saw you before the show eating an ice cream cone, you ice cream cone eating motherfucker, and stuff like that. So they were like very like playful. But Beck I saw open for Evil Knievel in New York City in
Who?
Evil Knievel.
Wait, who did?
Beck opened for Evil Knievel.
Shut up.
No. So like it was the Loser album, and
That
Beck, who was then dressing like, like a 14-year-old or whatever, he's wearing like kids' clothes, and like playing the just acoustic guitar and the harmonica, and he played and so he did this weird like tour with Evil Knievel where he opened for Evil Knievel.
he's funny. And you know what? He's very talented. I feel like, I mean, I don't know any of his album names or anything like this. I don't want to know anything about him
Why
personally.
not? Why?
I just don't do that really.
Interesting. Okay. Hmm.
I just like what I like, and then
Okay.
I don't look more into it. I try,
Okay.
the less I know about somebody I like, the better, because it seems to not work
That's
out.
smart. Yeah, that's smart. That's like my ex-girlfriend said, like this guy wrote a book about a man, and she was like, that was his first mistake. Like, because the man got canceled and like the whole book got so she's like, yeah,
And
don't
he lied to that person and everything
yeah,
else.
yeah.
But so anyways, I forgot what I was saying. Something like I don't know much about him other than he seems like he's got a really beautiful voice. He writes a really good song. And he just did this whole symphony thing. Did you see that? Where he
Mm-mm.
did songs with a symphony. And it
Must
was
be not must be nice.
they did Ravinia up here on the North Shore, but I had to show and I couldn't go. But I would like to see that because I watch a lot of concerts on YouTube
Cool.
for free.
That's
And
cool. That's super
and
cool.
it was really pretty and it worked really well. And he does a lot of just his watch some of it because you'll know exactly when you see what I'm saying.
I like Beck, yeah.
You'll
I know
go,
everything about Beck. I'm a kind of person who goes, I know everything about
really?
every musician. I follow music like sports. So if you want me to ruin any musician for you, I can.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I know everything about everybody.
No, don't tell me because
Okay.
like honestly, the less I know, the better.
Yeah,
And
I
like
think
Van
you're right.
Morrison, prime example. I love Van Morrison.
Yeah,
Other than the fact that I know he liked like Brown Eyed Girl was supposed to be brown skin girl, but they didn't let him have it.
I didn't even know that
That's
though.
the only fact that I know, and I don't want to know anything else about him because I don't even watch him live. I won't even watch him live because the recordings are perfect. Some bands I prefer live. He's one I prefer recorded, and I don't want to know anything about him because if
All right.
that is ruined for me, it's my autumn favorite, my autumn soundtrack. So
I
if
won't, yeah, I won't ruin anybody. And anyway, I don't know. Beck, as far as I know, is a nice guy. Van Morrison's just become sort of like a right wing, just like a kind of a
don't tell me,
complainer.
don't tell me, don't tell me about it.
Oh no, he's just like a crank, like just
That's what I
old.
don't want to know. I don't give
Yeah,
a
but
fuck.
he's fine. He's a boomer. He's just a boomer. He's
Once
fine.
I know, then it's in there, it's ruined. Like
And
so
yeah,
many people have been ruined for me that
that's true.
I'm very protective about the Van Morrison. I shouldn't have even said anything because I don't want any accidental find.
Spoilers. Don't spoil my don't spoil my brown-eyed girl. Okay, I won't.
Yeah.
But no, those are all fine people. And you're doing yeah, I won't tell you anything about anybody. Everybody's fine. Um
No, they're not. That's the whole thing. I
I
know they're
know,
not.
I know, I
I just
know.
don't want to know why they're not.
All right, well, thank you so much for being on here, and I will on Cold Brew Conversations. And here's I'm going to ring this bell for my other podcast. I've had like my other podcast, I've had trouble putting up because my father passed away, but I've got a couple I got to put up, and I'm going to put these all up this week. But here's this bell my friend sent me because I used to have a bell all the time, and then but listen to this bell. It's like a sound bath bell. It's like a front desk bell, but it would be the kind of front desk bell that would make everybody quit their job.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it because the filter. That's right. It's got like a. It's because of the Zoom filter. It's so annoying. Well, forget that bit. Okay. Um,
I mean, to make the bell maker quit his job, the bell maker would quit
yes, there
after
you
that.
go. Thank you. Thank you for saving that.
That's right.
Um,
That was a struggle. I had to say it twice. Really.
so
Too many
yes.
words. There was too many words.
So yeah, this Zoom shit is not ideal. It's just like because when you talk at the same time, it's hard to hear. And but I think that was so fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing you up in Chicago,
I
and
know.
and I uh yeah. Now tell people where they can see you, which is probably your list is so huge. Like I bet you, how many shows do you have coming up?
Well, this month I am mostly in Wisconsin this month. I'm
Hell
doing
yeah.
um also Columbus, Ohio. I'll be doing the Don't Tell comedy shows 14 and 15. They're doing like a Don't Tell All-Star.
Hell yeah.
Doing Don't Tells in Appleton and Green Bay, 21st and 22nd. And then I'll be at Madison Comedy Club on State the 28th and 29th.
Awesome. If anybody listening to this gets a chance to see Kristen Toomey, um, you gotta go. It's so fucking fun. And the first time I saw you was just like in a barn. I knew nothing about you at all except for you killed, and that was it. And I was a fan right away. So yeah, everybody go see Kristen if they're in town. They're gonna be happy. I think you do a good job of balancing, honestly, the politics. But I mean, I think you have a way of finding him, making him funny. I mean, that's sort of the thing. I can't. I don't know if I can. I know how to do that. Um, but I think
You know
like we're
what,
in,
honey? Honestly, just I know we're wrapping things up, but I do want to say, I think it's better to say something in this case and say it wrong than say nothing because the people that I am looking for, I'm looking at the people saying nothing at all. You have nothing to fucking say.
yeah,
And I get everybody, we all have some kind of like risk. Some people will lose their jobs if they say something, but it's like, I'm looking at comedians especially, and I'm like, you've got nothing to say.
yeah,
You can't repost one fucking thing of somebody else.
yeah,
Nothing. And it's, for what? Because you're not gonna work the fucking what? What are you gonna lose from that? And when this swings back, by the way, which it will,
yeah.
the people that did nothing, that are just trying to avoid all of this, it's like pick a side and stand by it. You know what I mean? Like say something.
Well, I've been saying tons. I think it's just for me, it's like I write an advice column. Um, uh, and I've been writing it now for 10, 11 years, 11 years. And so this is my 11th year doing it. And so like for a long time, it was totally silly. There's a book of them. I don't know if, do you have that book? Did I give you that book when I saw you that one time?
Good.
I did?
Yes.
Okay, good. So that book is, um, mostly funny. And then there's some serious stuff in it. But then lately, for an advice column, people will ask basically the same thing all the time, which is how do we get through this? What are we supposed to do? It's not there. It's not there. As far as I can tell, those are all books about.
They're all turned the other way, so I can't see what they are this way.
I can't see what they are at all. Oh, I can't see anything, so I cannot reveal any. That's smart. You have all
Funny
your books.
lady.
Oh, well, that's nice. You have a book about funny ladies and a bunch of other books that are hidden. Um,
They're just facing this way.
yeah, I know they're not. It's not. I
Oh,
was
you mean for the camera? Yeah, I
Yeah,
get.
but you're not hiding anything. I'm just trying to do a bit. So about why you're hiding your books. It's a ridiculous, useless bit. She's not hiding her books, folks. Um, um,
I can't even read these books.
but yeah, I don't read any books either. I just buy them. But the column just it became like everybody's just like justifiably, what are we supposed to do now? What are we gonna do? And I wrote that a lot. I wrote a lot about what are we going to do? What are we supposed to do now? And I think I did it well, but I'm trying to shift back into having some fun. Um, and that's why it's important to me to figure it out because I've been leaning too hard into ranting and raving and also there's people who will voices in your life that will say, stop doing this. You're wasting your time with the politics. You know what I mean? But I'm not so sure about that. You know what I mean? Because I think they're also projecting onto you their own system of like, I don't want to see your, they're also saying, I don't want to see your political posts. I want you to be funny because that's what I like about you. I don't want this other stuff. So I'm susceptible as a people pleaser to over
Mm.
taking advice, like thinking like someone can give me advice and I'll be like, oh man, I need to really do this like right away. Like I'll be like, even though like
Yeah.
like, and so I just am having a moment like that because one of my good friends told me like, stop posting politics; it's a waste of time. And it's a person I respect, and I just am like, oh, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that.
But here's the thing. I mean, and I'm not trying to tell you something else you should do. You should definitely do whatever you want to do. But that was my advice is like, you should do whatever the fuck you want to do. And if you feel like you wake up one day and you feel like someone comments something and you don't like it and you want to tell them to fuck off, that's what you should do.
Yeah,
And if you like want to post something, you should fucking post it. If you want nothing to do with it and you want to talk about turkeys or whatever, then do
turkeys.
that,
I do want to talk about turkeys.
you
That'll be
know.
our next podcast. We're going to
But
talk
here's the
all
thing,
about.
is like none of us should be thinking about who fucking cares about these made up numbers. Anyways, it's bullshit.
Oh no, no, I don't.
Fucking bots. And we're like letting, I mean, how fucking pathetic too that we're being like quieted by this imaginary bullshit number. This, I've got 80,000 people almost. I can't fucking sell tickets. It doesn't matter. So what are we talking about? That's going to shut me up? My own parents couldn't shut me
I'm
up.
going to
And
step in here and say her
the
tickets
fucking,
her tickets are hard to get and you should get them as fast as possible.
oh yeah, that part.
Uh-huh.
Don't tell is right.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm it's just on my mind, but I think it's on a lot of people's minds like how much to do and how much not to do. And for their own sanity and also because of people in their life. Just there's a lot of things going on, but I do think I've been talking about this stuff nonstop because I do think that this is not a time to pretend nothing's going on. And Nashville, and that's why I don't want to be in Nashville. I honestly don't. This town's never gonna be like a town that. I mean, this is the first time this town's ever been significantly challenged, and it's failing every test. Like, there's nobody defending it at all. And I ran for office, and like there's nothing else I can do. I don't feel like I can fix Nashville. I think maybe I'm just like getting completely spun out because I'm like in a town that can't be fixed, and I have no allies. I mean, there none of us do who are like trying to save Nashville. There's just no way. The numbers are overwhelming. Like we can't do it. We can't save it. So I don't know whether I'm getting confused about that. Like wasting my energy in Nashville. Like I really do feel like it's
And
it's
when you say save it, like what exactly do you mean? Like what do you want to happen that's different?
um
I know you're saying how the vibe is and everything, but like are there specific things that you would like to see happen? Like, and can you do that? Whatever those are, maybe we don't have to get into all that, but whatever those things are, is like, can you scale that down to make it manageable and doable? So if it's like you want to see more inclusive, like the city be more welcoming to other types of people.
yeah, or like talk about them at all. Like we have a bunch we're not an all white community, but that's the way the press
Yeah. Oh,
reports on this city. Like this is not um I just want to talk. I want to have be in a city that talks about um you know the black community or like not talks about but just like has included, like I don't know how
like
to
a
say it.
part
it's
of
like
it,
it's
where
like
it's
yeah, it's
not
not it's not
separate.
really talking about. It's like it's really just this is a sort of a segregated, heavily segregated city, and it's not by accident.
Well, Chicago
And
is as well. I mean, honestly, it's notorious for that, South Side, North Side, and it's even like down to the Ukrainian village. I mean, we really have an issue with that here, but at large, we do kind of come together more, I would
don't
say.
burst my bubble. Chicago is paradise.
Well, I just want you to be, aware that when you get here, it's like certain areas
No,
or certain nationalities, it's fine. It's all Chicago, but it is like neighborhood by neighborhood in a lot of places. And that's changed in the past 10 years, especially, but like it is, very much like there's a gay neighborhood, there's a this and that. And so it's weird when I go to like New York and I'll see, gay bar next to like a Mexican bar next to a Polish bar. It's like that doesn't exist in Chicago. There's like a Polish neighborhood, there's a
Okay.
Mexican neighborhood, there's a gay neighborhood. Um, but anyway, that being said, you know, we're all
Tax
still here.
My thing was tax money, it was just when they gave um $700 million to the NFL for a new stadium in Nashville, when we have a stadium, and now there's two stadiums side by side, one under construction and one being used for games.
Mm,
And and that was this town is a mess. It's like the streets are a mess. There's homeless people everywhere, and to give a huge amount of tax money to the NFL was the most irresponsible thing I've ever seen in my whole life. And so I just and everybody there's a small outcry, but there's just not much in terms of
no one's pushing back, you mean?
yeah, but well, politicians are not. So like I just want to be in a town that I don't want to be in a fucking red state. I just don't want to be I don't, I just want to feel like
You're not alone in like the blue dot in a red state. I feel like, you know, there is something to that because I like being able to go and talk openly like this in a green room or in, a pre-production meeting for something and be able to say like, "Oh, that was so fucked up. Did you hear about this?"
I
or
think
whatever.
that's what I that yes. But I mean for me I ran for office because I wanted to and I got a lot of votes and I could have won, except for I just declared my candidacy too late because it was impulsive. It was because of the stadium deal. And I had just moved back here and I was like, what the fuck? Like they're going to give, it's like not a small amount of tax money. And there's no state income tax in Tennessee. So to take away the little bit of taxes that they have to play with in terms of public services and to give them to the NFL was just insane.
Yeah, that is.
So, so I was like, you know, I was hoping to run for office and be able to speak the truth in there, and there are a couple of people who do that, but they're
Yeah.
so swamped by ignoramuses who are
Yeah.
just pro economic growth, no matter what that even means. That you're just wasting your time. I mean, it's super majority state, so you really are just the way I thought about it is I would have just been doing stand up in the city council, but I would have taken that, and I wish I'd won. But I don't think that is what I want to be in a town that is like moving in the right direction and then help rather than just like do some kind of stand up in a town that's just going the other way because it wants to. I mean, the majority of people here are fine with, they're like, we're fine. We have jobs. Everyone else can shut the fuck up. We don't care about any of this. We're just going to play golf and whatever, whatever, and go to downtown and get drunk. Like, I just don't find it inspiring personally. I don't find it. I mean, I just don't want to be in a town that's apolitical at a time like this. That's
Yeah, and I don't even, yeah. I mean, apolitical, I think, is being generous to those people that you're
Yeah,
talking.
being apolitical is being political. Being
Yes,
apolitical is
that's what
being
that
MAGA.
one.
Yeah, being
Yeah.
apolitical is being a Nazi at this point, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, yeah, I see the train of thought. I probably wouldn't feel that. I don't feel quite that way, but
Well, maybe it's overstatement. Maybe fascist. I don't know. Maybe okay with
I think it's like gross negligence at this point.
yeah.
It's like, unless you have some kind of medical reason why you can't pay attention for 5 seconds, like you got to know what's going on. I mean, really, like you need a doctor's note if you're like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, are you fucking
All right, I like that.
wrong?
That's a perfect place to end it. I think everybody who doesn't, everybody's a Nazi, it was total overstatement. I think my point is like you are helping
Right.
if you're not. Yeah, by being apolitical is not that's not a thing when politics right now are affecting whether or not you're getting abducted. So that's just not a
Or you
time
could
to.
eat as well. Like
Yeah, it's just not a time.
whether you're right or left, it's like the food is not coming for people this
Yeah,
month. It's Thanksgiving month and they can't eat. So it doesn't fucking matter if you're left or right. Like get your shit together. That's our money. Give it back to us and go to work.
That is fucking correct. Ladies and gentlemen, the inimitable Kristen Toomey, go see her shows wherever you can fucking see them because they will make your life better. And thank you so much for being on Cold Brew Conversations.
Thank you. I'm all jazzed from this coffee. I'm gonna go
Well,
run around
good.
the block.
I'm so glad. All right. Well, I'm going to stop this recording
Okay,
right
bye, y'all.
now. Bye bye.